match play out.
Yeah. I'm excited because, honestly, both these decks do kind of the same thing, just in different ways. They both are going to mill out their deck eventually. They're both going to draw through their deck eventually.
Yeah.
One is just a little bit faster as long as that hand is enough to play the game. So far, we haven't seen anything too crazy in terms of people, like, not being able to do what they want to do, aside from we had a game with Manlog where he had to just ride and pass. And we had a couple GSs here, but for the most part, we saw everyone play the game. Like, everyone was just doing exactly what their deck needed to do. We didn't see any, like, weird situations, but you never know. I will say Night Rose is definitely one of those decks where you can see that happen, but the cool part about all the good, very strong V Premium decks is they all kind of have a way to come back.
Yes.
And that's really cool. Even when you're in bad situations, you can kind of recover. Like, Gergi can recover, Night Rose can recover, Anj can recover, you know, Davos can recover. There's usually some recovery as long as you just don't get blasted.
All right. But now, Ken versus Esteban. Both of them are currently 4-1.
Yep.
Right now in the running, they have a chance of getting into the top 8 as long as they make these 2 last rounds count. Even X and 2 could possibly still make it, depending on the tiebreakers, if they're high enough or where they end up losing in this tournament in one of the earlier rounds.
Ooh. We're finally seeing the trigger pick up. I've been waiting for this moment. I saw that PG. I'm surprised I didn't pick up the perfect guard.
I like this a bit more because there's sometimes the pokes from the side lanes hit for enough of 15k shield.
That's true.
And I like that. I like that a lot more.
That's true. I'm not gonna lie, I would have went for the PG. You know, I wouldn't even think twice about it. Like, I need this.
I think it's more because if you draw into it, it's nicer. Or you drive into it, it's
true.
nicer.
If you check it.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. You'd rather check the crit though.
I don't know sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like in a mirror match, you want to be the one checking more crits. I'm gonna be honest with you. The draws are nice, but I'd rather just find the draw and check the crit.
Fair. Like, especially in a best of 1 format.
Yeah.
Yeah. My brain in some of the Western player bases tend to play with best of 3 sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can kind of play a little bit more fast and loose because you kind of want to play a bit more on the greedy side. Yeah, I get that.
That's just how I see it. I think the defensive shield to hand on the offensive crit makes more sense to me.
Yeah, of course.
But the other way around of wanting to check the draw defensively, I can also understand that. Also, you can find it later, and also the Rose is also going to get your perfect guard. So realistically speaking, do you need 2 PGs? Into this matchup, yes. And that's why it was a little interesting. But also for early guarding, I don't know exactly what Esteban's hand's looking like. It's possible that maybe there is no 15k shields, and that's why he was like, okay, well, I need this. It's not a matter of want or desire. I just need the 15.
That's for sure.
All right, so we're seeing a double Tommy play. They're both going for the Tommies here. So honestly, we're just digging. We're finding whatever we need, and we're just going. I love the pass. So Ken chose to pass, which I think was a very smart choice here to make. One of them is running a Banshee deck, and one of them is not running the Banshee deck. So it kind of hurts. But neither of them rode Banshee, so it doesn't change it too much. But this forces the mill to slow down a little bit. However, if you are playing Navigator, I don't think the denial matters as much.
No.
Because the Navigator just says, I don't care, you know?
I guess. Okay, so now you made me think more about that grabbing trigger play. I think it's better due to the fact, at least for this matchup, he doesn't know what variations he's going against, if it's the mirror, and having the 15k keeps you from being surprised by a random crit.
True. Yeah. But on the other hand, I'm not going to lie, the 15Ks do not matter once they wrap up to 3.
God, no.
It only matters here and only
here.
The minute they go to 3, the ghost ship always hits over the 15Ks.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty obnoxious because you're like, oh, it's 29. Okay, I don't have the 20K, you know?
True. Definitely.
Also, so Esteban chose to give the damage here, so we're seeing like a very different style of play. One person chose to deny, one person chose not to deny. How do you feel about that?
I like this a whole lot is because A, it gives validation to the 15k shield they got earlier, and B, if they're going to go for Ghost Ship anyway or a Greed Shade play, it allows you to kind of just soak the second damage, but then allows you to like still do your own plays, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't keep you from playing the game whatsoever.
That's true. I think I think personally knowing about the Navigator, I think you just give the damage.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much aware Esteban was of it, but I think if you just know it's there, there's nothing you can do to stop it.
Yeah.
So
just
we're checking the mill.
Just making sure that he hits a Great Shade possibly. So he sent Night Rose to drop zone so they can probably use a Great Shade to get it back.
Yeah, which is usually where Great comes in handy, because in the situations like this, you need to find that Rose. And we do see something.
All right, Skull Dragon got revealed here. Off the top 5, I think we saw another grade 3 in the mix, which is a Night Rose. It looks like they're going to be picking that up.
Exactly. I saw the top 5. I was like, oh, there's a Rose in there. I think all the grade 3s are actually in there. I think there was a Beatrice in there too. But we're picking up exactly what we need here. Discarding probably something that we will need less. Oh, perfect. There we go. The perfect setup. That's my favorite part about Tommy's in Grand Blue.
Yeah.
Is the top 5, grab my ride line, discard the card I need for my setup. It's perfect. It's like you don't lose any advantage off of it at all. It's like exactly what you want.
Grab themselves Protect 2. Protect here. No.
Protect, yeah. Protect 2 is a very lost cause sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I will say if I want to finish off a game really fast, Protect 2 goes wild. That 5k matters. Oh, here we have forcing the damage, since we did see a denial happen here. This is the Heal Guardian coming down. Some people kind of forget about that second effect because it doesn't come up too often. But basically, you can call the Heal Guardian from hand, and if you don't have any damage, you can take the top card and give yourself a damage.
That's right. So they're swinging here with Negrabone for 13.
Yep. Yeah, we're just there isn't much of a drop zone, but we do have a ghost ship here, which is also just really good. I think the setup's perfectly fine. Sometimes you don't need to go super crazy. Losing a Skull Dragon is a little scary though. But here we are. We're going 13, 15, and then probably swinging with the Rose. The Heal Guardian is pretty good here. Very good setup. That way nothing really hits except for the ghost ship. But still, we can still get a column going.
All right, so here's the column here. Ghost Ship and Necrobone.
Yep. We have a 4 attack this time because no Beatrice, no real attack extenders, no way to get the column bard out yet, and we're only working with 1 counterblast. So we're just vibing. This is a 1 to pass right now. They can choose to make it a 2 to pass, which is what they just did. So here we're hitting Jesse and Banshee. Pretty good drive checks for even shield and stuff like that. So swing in. This is 29-39. This is like the really hard to deal with column usually. So there's the crit coming in, and we have to draw a card off the ghost ship and retire and pass it back over. Now we're probably going to see something similar on the other side, but we have a better board to work with here. We also have the navigator, so we're going to be seeing a little bit more of that milling happening, which is where that Banshee kind of hurts a little bit. So in this situation, Estevan can't really get through his deck that fast because he doesn't have the navigator, but can just go wild.
Yeah,
and you can just keep doing this turn after turn after turn. Doesn't really matter as long as you're not decking yourself out. And that's like the downside to going the consistent variant. It's like, yay, you get to see all your stuff, but oh no, I have 5 cards in my drop versus having 20 or 25 or instantly.
But 10 of those could be triggers. That's
yeah. I mean, that's the gamble you take. It's like there could be triggers, but guess what? I also milled other good cards. My Jessie's out, my Ghost Ship's out, my Beatrice out. All the stuff you need is out. You're ready to go. Franchi's out. It lets you see your deck faster. And I think that's also very important. I sometimes have a hard time picking which variant I like more. In terms of my sanity, the Banshee build feels better, but in terms of winning, the Navigator build feels better.
I guess is the idea like the cards that you milled you probably wouldn't have seen anyway.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Past the 2.
Yeah.
The rest 8.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have seen. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. Yeah, it's always a hard choice. I mean, my biggest thing is just the early stages, like getting to the rows. After that, I stopped caring. All right, here we are bringing out that Beatrice. So busting out a good old column bard, and then we could probably dig a little bit, get some good cards out, and just kind of go in.
See what they're going to be going in with here.
Probably going to grab either Skull Dragon or another Ghost Ship, since we do have the second one in this build, if I remember correctly. Or I think this build had 1. I'm confusing which build had which one. They're so similar for the most part, and then they have like a couple changes here.
It's like 4 or 5 card difference.
Yeah, but for the most part, they're similar.
But those 4 or 5 cards, the difference sometimes make the matchup so dynamic.
Yes, I agree with that. I agree. But I like this so far. I like the setup we have going on. I will say Ken's setup is a little stronger than what Estevan had, but part of why that happened was because Estevan got denied and Ken did not get denied. So here we go, going in with the Ghost Ship. Nice solid 29. Very awkward interval to block with. Kind of probably. Yep, there we go. There's that draw
Hey.
coming in. Probably the same. Could have been even the same draw we saw earlier. I like that. I like that. There's a little defense, and we get to draw some cards. Digging a little bit deeper, we really Esteban really wants to see a good chunk of that deck, because with where we're going, we need to see more drop zone. Choosing to go into the Ghost Ship and maybe Beatrice again, but Beatrice will have to call out something else. Oh, it has to be the columns, so it won't work that way anyway, because you have to pick a column. So
It's going to be still like a Beatrice board.
yeah. I think that's fine, because there wasn't really much else to really pick. A little awkward, but it's okay. I just like how the Franchi's just been there this entire time. Ooh, a heal. That's pretty big. That's actually very big. I know I bring this up a lot, but especially getting that dragon out, but also, again, dealing with this cool dragon plays. We've been seeing the heal come up a lot, specific in this one.
Hey, that's cool!
There's the Tutor Brass break. That's what you wanted. We got it. We're taking 2 damage, and we hit the heal. That's a big change. That's actually a big change in tempo.
Yeah,
There's a big tempo difference there.
That's a huge swing here for...
Well, it's not. It doesn't have the triggers on it, because it all went to Van.
No, but
But
it's
still
still
big.
it's still like a huge...
It's still 39.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
I think it's 39.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
Stack your shield.
29. Yeah. Actually, I think it's even higher.
Wait, let me see.
It's 29 in its own, and then it has a 13k booster behind it. So it's actually 39. It's 42,
2?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, and the Vanguard
Yeah,
is
it's 42.
32.
Yep.
Yeah. Vanguard would have been 42, so 5k shield more.
Yep. Yeah, very very good setup. I think Ken played this out really well. Also, the double trigger, definitely. We actually haven't seen such crazy drive checks today.
No,
These
no.
drive checks have been like very. That was probably the spiciest drive check we've seen today.
Most of the drive checks we were seeing was just kind of like...
It was just like normal unit, normal unit,
You
normal unit, or like front nothing.
Or like if it's a double trigger, the double trigger didn't matter anymore.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
that
it
sort
was
of thing.
already like game. So we do have the column bar, which is definitely useful. We really need that column bar. We need to get that drop zone going. Esteban's definitely a little bit on the back burner here, especially with the difference in healing. Because at this point you want to start pushing, and it's kind of hard. This always gets so tricky. Like, we keep getting in these situations where the Grand Blue player that's trying to win, the other opponent is at 2 damage. Like, you can't. It's so hard to 2 to 6 sometimes.
Because a lot of those situations, they just don't lend themselves to getting the setup for it.
Yep,
Especially
exactly.
as like they're seemingly having a more consistent variation, but the variation of Navigator looks like they're always like pumping on full cylinders here.
Yep, exactly. Here we are getting the drop zone is kind of starting to grow there a little bit, so we do have somewhat of plays we can do. Also, being at 4, you have more CB to work with and all that stuff. Also, we haven't seen too many heals on Esteban's side either, so it's possible that we might be going down a point or 2 of damage. So
All right.
here comes the Cutlass, everyone's favorite sword. I like the Cutlass. It's just such it's a free body. So we're going to set up for the counter charge. I always like having the Cutlass in the back row there just to make it that magic 33k number behind Night Rose, which is also really nice. And then honestly here, I think the setup here is just regular Ghost Ship plays with the Banshee. We don't really have much else to work with, so we're just going to have to just work with what we have. Like, have the Banshee column bar column, swing with the Ghost Ship, and probably call out another Beatrice Banshee column and maybe call another Ghost Ship on the other side. Basically like a regular Night Rose turn versus like anything crazy with like the front sheet and stuff.
I mean, he could still do a Franch play, I guess.
He could. I mean, I would if I actually don't know if the drop zone has one right now.
Oh, he
but-
did. Remember?
Oh yeah, early on,
Yeah.
right. Duh. And that's the greatest part about that promo is like you have to discard it, but in Grand Blue you're gonna get back anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't
so you
matter.
don't lose value.
Damn.
So here we are drawing, and then we're gonna swing with the Vanguard, and basically just set up for the play here. So are we gonna go Franchi? I think the Beatrice. I think we are actually. Because we can Beatrice ability call the Franchi and then set up that way. Well, yep, that works. Works for me. I see it. Get that Franchi out. There she is. Awesome. And this is swing for 33. That's my favorite part about Cutlass. Cutlass always makes a magic number behind Rose because it's an 11K. So it always hits for such a good number. So there we go. There's that one of Greed Shade and a Call Bard. Nice. So now we're probably going to go ship here, I would say.
Let's see. This crit trigger. Draw a card, retire.
And then bring out the Ghost Ship? Yep, we're going Ghost Ship. So that's swinging for 27. And then the Ghost Ship is swinging for 29. So choosing to take the damage, you can hit the defense, it kind of shuts it down, which is also good. There's a double mill off of Banshee. Banshee did not hit anything. Usually if you hit a trigger, you get to draw a card, so. And then there's the block, and then we get to draw off of that. Nice. Now we're going back. Now, this is the part where we ask ourselves, do we kill? I think the answer is yes. We're at 4 damage.
Potentially.
We could. We're at 4 damage. We know of the one perfect guard that Estevan definitely has because it's the protect marker, obviously. And I think at this point, Ken probably knows if he doesn't kill here, that's it. Like they're dying. So it's kind of like a toss-up. But I think you kind of have to go for the kill here now. Yeah, we're definitely setting up for Franchi. The Franchi's been back there for how many turns now? Like maybe 4? It's been there for a bit now. So we're going to mill a little bit.
Cutlass here for Negravone maybe.
Yeah, we're going to be setting up for the counter charge. We're definitely trying to go for game. So there's the Cutlass. All we really need now is a Tommy and a Skull Dragon, which I'm assuming we're going to get here pretty shortly. Because we do have 3 cards. I don't know how many bones are in there, but there should be enough to do what we're trying to do. There's 1 bone. Only 1.
Have we done Jesse yet? No, right?
We haven't. Yeah, Jesse can fix that problem. Yeah, Jesse's a drop, so yeah, we could definitely can fix the issue here. So we're gonna use Jesse's ability, call out the Jesse. What we can even do is we can call the Jesse. We're not gonna use it. Call another card, mill 5 more, and then set up. We could do that. We don't have to, but it is an option. So here we are, setting out the bone, calling out the ghost ship. I mean, not the ghost ship, the dragon, and then and then we're probably gonna call it a booster, which will probably be the grade 1 Jesse. Oh, why do I keep saying that? Tommy, the grade 1 Tommy. So here's the second one coming in. The only thing I don't like about this is that we don't have a booster behind Vanguard. I would definitely opt to get a booster behind Vanguard. But yeah, there's the Tommy. And again, we're doing that Cutlass Tommy play I was talking about. Always want the Tommy to be the second booster.
And for the people at home who might be wondering, hey, why did he clear his own board to put a Jesse there, not to attack with it, and to get rid of it to call over it? Just more cards in drop zone for Skull Dragon.
Exactly. Every 2K counts.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll if I know I'm going for game, I'll just call my whole hand down just to get the extra. Okay, so we're at 5. Definitely trying to go for game here. And get the Frenchie's ability to get another Skull Dragon out. We are going for the 4 Skull Dragon play with Frenchie attacks in between. So here we are blocking. Sadly, that number is always so small. It's like 26. Always blockable. And then the Skull Dragon coming out. I'm wondering if this is all blockable, to be honest with you. There's the PG. That's 1 PG. We know the other one's in hand.
Okay. So this is a hindsight thing, but I would have preferred him using a protect marker.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Because it basically Estevan gave away, like, yeah, I have another PG in hand.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes Ken or any other player think, like, okay, should I be, like, you know, and now they know for sure, you know. So yeah, I agree. I know you're trying to get out. Giving too much information. If you already know the protect's in your hand, use the protect first.
Exactly. Especially if you know you're going to be PGing anyway, right?
Exactly. We're doing a little bit of a trigger count here because Night Rose having that extra 10k does hurt, especially knowing that there's 3 more attacks coming, 2 of which are basically unblockable. So I remember so many times where you have to throw down that one pass in this types of situations. You just literally cannot block any other way. Like, you have to throw the one pass. All right, wait, the deck's pretty small. It's getting pretty small there. Oh, this part always gets so stressful. They're both at 5.
Yeah, they're both staring each other down in terms of like damage and stuff, and they're like, well,
exactly.
I currently have 1 card in my hand.
Yeah,
I'm swinging into you right now.
We haven't even seen too many heals either from Esteban's side, but we're getting that weird situation where it's like...
We're also not seeing that much heals from Ken either, right? So.
Yeah, we saw the early one come through, and that's basically it. So here we are. So we're putting down the 15K, getting us to 27, and that's a 1 to pass. That is a 1 to pass. Nothing. Wow.
He said no.
You see, remember I said, like, sometimes you gotta drop that 1 to pass. It happened there. I think Esteban has just enough to block this. It's close. I don't know if there's another PG in there or not. If there is, definitely enough to block it. If not, we have to hard block that or just take it. But here we go. We're using Frenchie again. This Frenchie's a lot bigger and a lot harder to block. So this one requires 2 cards. So if you don't have the 2 cards, oh boy. But we do see another. I see another protected hand. I think we're fine. I'm over here overthinking it, but I think we're fine. For some reason, I thought that was another card.
Yeah, I think they're just currently contemplating how they want to guard this.
Yeah, because they need cards to do something next turn.
So there's a Jesse in hand. Do we even have any more shield value to guard this attack? No, right?
So that's 17, 27, 30. Oh, we're taking it.
Yeah, that's what
we're taking it, and that's game.
Yeah, I was about to say that
They didn't have enough.
They didn't have enough because I think I counted their hand, and I think altogether they had like 10 to 15k.
Oh, and the Frenchie is 17, 27, 32. So yeah. Not enough to block it all. That's what I'm saying. Imagine if you did it the other way around and that was a Cutlass, it would have been blockable. That's the craziest part.
Yeah.
That's the craziest part. Sometimes the littlest things, because that's just a 2K difference in numbers, but it matters. It matters. It matters there.
So Esteban, close but not close enough, takes that loss.
Yep.
Ken wins this round, going 5-1 in round number 6.
Yep. Exactly.